Hey friends, what's up? Going to Hey friends, what's up? I'm heading down to RideNow Powersports to check out another bike. Today we're gonna check out the Africa Twin. So I'm gonna get on my bike now and head down there. Let's do it.
So I'm just jumping on the highway here and gonna head down there. It takes about 15 minutes to get to the dealer, and we'll see what's up when we get there.
All right, friends, here we are with the Honda Africa Twin DCT. All right, here we are with the bike and our new friend Greg. What's up, man?
Hey, nice to see you again, man.
Nice to see you. So what do we got here?
We've got the 2024 Honda Africa Twin DCT.
Dual clutch transmission.
Yes, sir.
All right. So the size of this engine, to be precise, is
This is
10.
a 1083cc unit, parallel twin, falls in the 1100 class of adventure bikes, and does have Honda's famous dual clutch transmission, so no clutch lever needed.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. So what are some of the other aspects about the engine? So it's like liquid cooled.
Liquid cooled parallel twin, so it's very narrow on the chassis, no cylinder heads hanging out on the sides, and no exhaust right underneath you as with a classic V-twin. So very cool to ride.
No cylinder heads.
Heating up. No, nice and narrow. Don't have to worry about hitting anything on the sides. Keeps it very narrow bike, great for off-road, and just a very compact feel. So the whole bike feels a lot narrower than a lot of different adventure bikes out there.
All right, so I think the really cool thing about this bike is the DCT, which usually up until now was more reserved for the kind of bigger touring bikes and things like that. So this has got it. This is amazing. And I thought this was a clutch, but it's not. What is that?
That is actually a parking brake from Honda. So you're absolutely right. The dual clutch transmission first premiered on the Honda Goldwing. It's been in cars for years, really high-end sports cars. People love it for that. It can click off shifts faster than you can with your hand or your foot on a motorcycle, even faster than a quick shifter. And it allows people that don't have the coordination or just don't want to mess with it in traffic the ability to ride a motorcycle and just set it in automatic. But when you're riding on the back roads, you want to have fun with your friends, you can still manually shift it both up and down at the push of a button.
Yeah, so you got the paddle shifters here. So this is this down?
That's downshift, and then upshift is on the front with that trigger.
Let's see if we'll
right
get
on
that.
the front side. That's it.
And so this is an emergency brake. So when you were telling me before, when you come to a stop and you park the bike, the transmission goes into neutral?
Yep. Yeah, so whenever you put it, as with any dual clutch transmission car, you should always set the parking brake. Same on the motorcycle. Put it in neutral, it's gonna roll. On all your manual transmission bikes, you'd always leave it in first gear whenever you're on a hill. You don't want it to roll. On these, simply set the parking brake and you're ready to go.
Okay. And so this particular one, even though it has that real special thing about it, the DCT, it's kind of an entry level for the Africa Twin. So where kind of price points, where do these kind of sit in terms of this one and then like the top end one?
So this one being the Africa Twin base model, but with DCT transmission, you're right around $15,500 on this unit. When you step up to what's called Adventure Sports with Honda, which is really Honda's version of the BMW GSA.
Mm-hmm.
This is Honda's version of the regular GS. The Adventure from BMW is Adventure Sports with Honda. You're getting a bigger gas tank, more off-road capability, and a few other upgrades along with the bigger gas tank, just like the GSA. On the Adventure Sports, you're spending about $2,800 additional DCT to DCT. You can save a little bit of money as well going with the manual transmission, but since this bike features DCT, we'll do apples to apples.
Yeah, and the other one has, I think one of the big things it comes with is the electronic suspension, right? Yeah.
That's a big upgrade going to the electronic suspension, adjustable windscreen, bigger gas tank.
And what is the gas tank on this one? Do you know?
5 gallons.
5? Okay. That's decent.
Yeah, that depending on your riding should give you close to a 200-mile range or over, depending on how liberal you are with throttle usage while riding.
And the other cool thing is we got spoked rims on these guys.
Yep, they are spoke, but they are still tubeless. So just like the BMW GSs that originated that design, you do have tubeless wheels, so no needs for inner tubes inside the tires, so you can always fix it on the road yourself.
Okay, so with all this in mind, this is a pretty big category. Adventure bikes is big time now. You know, who should buy this, or let's like do some comparison. Of course, GS you've mentioned already. BMW is the kind of the king of that, but then there's, you know, Pan America, and there's, you know, every other bike brand has an adventure bike at this point. So where does this one kind of sit?
So this is for the Honda loyalists, and a lot of people will get into it as an entry. It's not the budget option. You can get bikes that are certainly less features, and not the fit and finish and quality. The paint job on Hondas, reliability on Hondas, they're famous for it. Dealership network across the country, you have more Honda dealers than you do anyone else. So wherever you're riding, you always have dealer support with a Honda. But the adventure market has really replaced the sport touring market. BMWs are the originator of the adventure bikes, and they are the gold standard that everyone else is judged by. Honda wanted to get into that market. They released the Africa Twin, originally a 1000, now an 1100cc. So much more horsepower, much more refined unit, and also available with the Adventure Sports on the electronic suspension. You're getting the Honda because it just wins you over. The Honda never ever lets you down. It's the only one out there with a dual clutch transmission. If you want the traditional clutch and 6-speed, you can also get it that way, and you'll save yourself some money. But adventure bikes have just taken away the sport touring. People ride these things. You don't think you have to take it off-road. You can buy an adventure bike and ride it every day on the road and absolutely love the ground clearance. The handling on these bikes is wonderful. Great wind protection, wide bars for lots of leverage. They are easy bikes to ride, so don't let the size or engine size intimidate you. The seat heights are a little higher on these, 33 to 34 inches, depending on how you have it set, but they are very easy bikes to ride.
Yeah, and kind of touching on that, the tires that come with it are kind of dual purpose, so definitely good for the street and going off-road. Not full knobbies, but can handle both. So kind of to wrap up my thinking about this bike, based on the things we've talked about, why would someone buy this? I think price point, dealership network, and this amazing DCT clutch, which is really cool.
You have to ride it to really experience it. Just the way it feels, how quick it can shift. People think automatics of yesteryear, of 80s and 90s, and just being slush boxes and not having a lot of feeling. The DCT, it'll make you giggle. It's so quick. It's so much faster than you think. The first time you use a quick shifter and you go, God, that's fun. This is faster than a quick shifter. And just when you're feeling lazy and you're exhausted from exploring the back roads, put it in fully automatic and just ride it home, and you don't have to worry about it. It gets you home. It's safe. In a panic situation, it automatically downshifts for you. It takes care of you. It allows you to ride longer, more comfortably, and it's the only one in its class that offers a dual clutch transmission.
Yep. And of course you can put bags on it and all that good stuff. Let's take a look at the dash real quick, if you can turn it on, and let's see what this dash looks like.
You do have a split screen dash. So on the bottom you always have your miles per hour and your gear indicator, always on site. The upper dash is customizable between different settings. Might be a little hard to see in the sunlight, so we apologize for that. And it is a touch screen.
Okay.
So click OK.
There you go.
Big tachometer, trip meters, average fuel consumption, average speed, instant fuel consumption, and then along the bottom you've got your power level, your engine braking, your traction control levels, and along with your ABS. So
got a lot of information.
A lot of info.
And so this is the control
all
unit
to navigate the dash. Yep.
Okay. Now what about GPS? Can that be integrated into that aftermarket, or is it something?
It would be a standalone unit.
Oh,
just like traditional adventure bikes, you would run a standalone unit.
Okay. Very cool. All right. Well, Greg, thank you so much for
absolutely
showing us this bike. It was very cool.
Yeah. Anytime.
And I have to experience that DCT at some point. I haven't yet.
Take it for a ride.
So there's your last look at the bike. Very cool. Any questions? Let me know. And that's it from RideNow Powersports. Later.